In southeast Kansas, and a cafe transformed Girard, Kansas into a winter wonderland. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, volunteers brave the cold to help repair damaged headstones at a cemetery in West Mineral, Kansas. Plus, Freeman Health System in Joplin celebrates 30 years of a life-saving heart procedure. And a Joplin restaurant hosts a dine-in and donate event to benefit breast cancer survivors.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Volunteers come together today to repair a vandalized cemetery in West Mineral, Kansas. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Anthony Saviello. Last week, we reported vandals damaged dozens of headstones at Star Cemetery. The grave markers broken into pieces or knocked over. But when Next Generation Enterprise heard what happened, they decided to come out and make the repairs for free. They were joined by other Masons from across the area, as well as residents of West Mineral. Volunteers say the work is a great way to give back, especially during the holiday season.
I hope that whoever did this and the families that were affected by it, I hope that they can have forgiveness in their hearts, move past this, and realize that there is without the darkness there is no light, and just realize that something good came from this.
Volunteers expected to repair nearly 100 headstones today. Tonight on KOAM News, we'll have more. Let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a first look at weather.
Well, temperatures as we head into tonight are quickly dropping down into the mid-20s, 25 in Joplin, 23 in Iola. So we're going to continue to drop down into the lower 20s as we head into early Saturday morning, along with just a light northeasterly breeze, about 10 miles per hour. So it's not dropping our temperature or wind chill down too much, but we are still getting a bit of a wind chill down by a couple of degrees. So whatever the actual temperature is, it's going to feel just a couple of degrees cooler. Now we have a few clouds pushing in, especially in the northeast, but we're staying dry for the next couple of days. No rain chances. We're starting off again pretty cool in the morning, down in the mid-20s, and then we're going to warm up pretty quickly because our high tomorrow getting into the 40s. So we're starting to see this warming trend take place as we head into the weekend, and I have a full forecast coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Freeman Health System is celebrating a big milestone. 30 years ago, cardiologist John Cox performed the very first catheterization procedure. This procedure is a test for specific heart or blood vessel problems like clogged arteries or irregular heartbeats. The very first procedure was a diagnostic one, but over the years they've expanded it to a therapeutic procedure as well to fix the problems they find.
We built something that has saved lives and has helped so many people. Certainly I'm grateful to have been a part of it.
The first year they did the procedure, they did about 100 total operations. Since then, they've done thousands of procedures. For the second year in a row, Freeman Health System can also lay claim to Missouri Rural Champion. The title refers to an individual who made significant contributions to improving the health and well-being of people in rural areas. This year's champion is Dr. Barbara Miller, a Freeman family practice physician based in Neosho, Missouri. She joins last year's winner, Sarah Willoughby, a Freeman behavioral health coach. Dr. Miller will receive her award during a ceremony held in Neosho from state officials in early 2025. With just a few days left until Christmas, community members of Baxter Springs, Kansas gathered to support local children. This morning, the First Christian Church distributed toys they received through this year's Toy Box campaign. Parents, guardians, and caregivers in the Baxter Springs community were able to stop by and pick up toys to take home and wrap as Christmas presents.
I love Christmas a lot, and so personally it's just been a mission of mine to help make sure everyone who asks for help and needs the help in our county, that child wakes up on Christmas morning with at least we can provide 2 pretty good toys under their tree.
With your help and contributions to our Toy Box campaign, the First Christian Church will be helping more than 400 area kids have a Merry Christmas. Well, Trackside Burgers and Barbecue in Joplin held a dine-in donate day this afternoon. 10% of all purchases will go directly to the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks. More importantly, all proceeds will stay in the Joplin area. The goal is to give any child who has previously had to use financial aid from the organization a $100 gift card for each child in the home. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has the story.
Equal partnership when we do these dine and donate. It helps the nonprofit organization, but it also helps us as well, and helps us to give back and stay true to our mission.
Chef Mike Clark is the owner of Trackside Burgers and Barbecue. He says he's not just participating in this event because he's being pleasant, but because it affects everyone, even himself.
We know a survivor. We know somebody battling it right now, and so it's very near and dear to us that way. And then also, this has to do with children. And I'm super passionate about helping kids. Not a lot of people that you don't know that is going through breast cancer.
And he may be right. At least that's what we found. Regina Hammonds is the outreach director for the Foundation of the Ozarks. And as Clark says, she knows someone battling with the disease right now.
I've had several friends that have battled breast cancer, and I've met some amazing people just over the last few months.
Hammonds also says the disease can affect anyone, no matter the sex.
We do have a few men in our organization that we've helped over the years, so it's not just a stigmatism where it's just women.
Manager Avery Halsey says she enjoys working for a company that supports others. She wants others to know just how great this company is.
I hope we can do more events like this and hold more events to be able to give back to the community. I also hope it draws in more people. They come in today to give back, and then they realize it's an awesome place to be, and they come back.
Both Hammonds and Clark says it's all for one purpose: helping others.
Whenever I can take the burden off somebody's plate and just let them focus on their journey.
Maybe take their minds off of what's going on with mom at the end of the day. What better way to be a part than that?
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOEM News.
Hammond says they are currently servicing 75 people in the Joplin area. Artists in Europe preserve the holiday tradition of hand-making Christmas tree ornaments. That story is coming up. But up first, how a potential government shutdown could impact a Southwest Missouri airport ahead of the holiday travel season.
Season truly special.
A big concern about those ongoing negotiations to avoid a federal shutdown at midnight is the possible impact on holiday air travel. Nick Kelly got some answers for people traveling through the Springfield-Branson National Airport.
AAA is forecasting 119 million people to travel for the holidays, while the TSA says it plans on screening 40 million people traveling by air through January 2nd. Not only would these higher numbers set new records, Ken Boyd with the Springfield-Branson National Airport says he's also expecting more travelers as well.
We're going to finish the year up about 10% when you measure us by passenger numbers, about 10% more folks. So that'll be another record year for the airport. We've just been setting record years like crazy for almost 10 years now.
However, airport staff have been watching Capitol Hill for signs of progress to avoid a shutdown. The last time the government shut down in December 2018, FAA and TSA staff at the airport were deemed essential employees who had to keep working.
They had to continue working because it involves the health and safety and welfare of the public. So they continued working throughout the shutdown, even without pay.
While the last shutdown did cause employees to work without pay for up to 6 weeks, workers still showed up so people could get to their destinations. Boyd says the shutdown didn't impact travel then and shouldn't impact travel if it happens again, but pointed out something else that could.
All the experienced travelers drop out of the mix, like the business travelers, and what fills in the void are people who don't travel very often or who have never flown in their life, and they don't know how to do it.
No matter what happens through the course of the weekend or beyond the Christmas holiday, it will still be business as usual for travelers here at Springfield-Branson National Airport. But travelers should still keep in mind the same rules to make sure that you make it to your flight on time.
My advice about traveling for the holidays is the same this year as it would be for any year, regardless of government shutdown. And that is, get to any airport you're flying in and out of 2 hours early.
As long as travelers keep a calm and cool head, it should be a smooth flight to make some more memories through the holiday season.
Earlier tonight, the House passed a stopgap spending bill to keep the government running. That bill is currently before the Senate, awaiting passage or rejection. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search the KOAM News app. Lindsay returns with a complete look at your forecast, and a little later, the Eastside Cafe in Girard, Kansas transforms into a winter wonderland.
for. Come see us at Wayside Furniture, North Main and Fountain Road, Joplin.
Much colder day today than we've seen for the last couple of days. Let's go ahead and take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. We've got a light northeasterly breeze, though it's really not a strong breeze, so we're not seeing a really big wind chill drop, but we are still seeing a bit of a chill. So temperatures in the mid 20s and lower 20s as we head into tonight. But with this light northeasterly breeze, temperatures are going to feel a bit cooler, just a couple of degrees cooler than what they actually are. Now we have a few clouds moving through the northeast, but we are staying dry over the next couple of days. We actually go into a bit of a warming because we've got this ridge forming, and that's going to be moving into our area, bringing us that warming trend as we head into Saturday and Sunday, and even into the holidays. Now, we are going to start the morning off still pretty chilly. So temperatures are starting off in the lower 20s, though we warm up quickly by 7 a.m. If we're in the lower 20s, 5 to 10 degree or 5 to 10 miles per hour winds from the north, and we're seeing about a wind chill in the mid-teens to even lower teens. So we are still going to start off a little bit cooler with that nice little wind chill. Now winds start to shift as we head into Saturday. So this is 2:30 p.m. We get that southerly breeze where that warm up is taking place as that ridge forms over our area. And we're going to start to warm up. High temperatures on Saturday getting into the mid to lower 40s. Then the winds really start to pick up, 25 mile per hour wind gusts as we head into 9:30 on Sunday. And then even by the evening, up to 30 mile per hour wind gusts across the area by 7 p.m. Now this is gusting ahead of our front that's going to be moving in on Monday. So let's take a look at their upper level flow. This little trough, it's a shortwave trough, not a full low pressure system, but it kind of spews off from the north, and it's bringing us a little, just a slight cold front Monday morning. So this is 9 a.m. We're going to start to see a few light scattered showers in the area. Those continue intermittently as we head into Tuesday morning, but another shortwave trough pushes in from the west. That's going to bring a little bit of a heavier chance of rain as we head into Christmas Eve. Now, Christmas Eve, most of the day, we are seeing these rain chances, a little scattered every now and then, but mostly rain chances, though thunderstorms south of us. So that front is really developing south of us, so we are still getting some of those showers. And then as it continues, we're looking all right for Christmas Day. Temperatures are going to be pretty warm as we have this slight ridge forming behind that shortwave trough, and then rain and clouds clear out later in the day. So temperatures for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, upper 50s, looking pretty good. Rainy though Christmas Eve, and we still have some morning showers on Christmas Day, but outside of that, clearings. We'll have a nice afternoon, and then Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday, we are going to start to see those scattered shower chances return and temperatures in the 60s.
Sure doesn't feel like December if that's the case. All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, with just a few days to go before Christmas, many will have stockings hung up and trees up covered with ornaments. The tradition of Christmas ornaments started in Europe, where a few craftsmen still make them the old-fashioned way by hand. Lee Canary has more from London.
Ornate, detailed, sometimes cute. The Christmas ornament is not just ornamental. It's tradition being kept alive by hand in this quaint workshop in Bulgaria. The 27 artisans here are part of a social enterprise employing people with physical or mental disabilities. They are some of the last craftsmen in the world making glass ornaments without the use of molds. It's a painstaking process. Over a flame, artists melt the glass, blow it into shape, and add special touches, like this bell, made by master glassblower Ivan Stanvev. The trend is mass production of plastic ornaments in China, he said. There are very few craftsmen left. A few more can be found in the Czech mountains, where they perfect purling, a glass-blowing technique.
We are the last company in the world which produces Christmas ornaments from blown glass beads. The tradition still continues in the families.
The first glass ornaments were made in Germany, where the idea of decorating a tree at all began in the 16th century. At first, fruit and nuts were added to winter trees to symbolize the promise of spring to come. In 1847, German Hans Greiner invented a glass version of those decorations, called baubles. Queen Victoria was a fan, and they spread through Europe before coming to America. Today, most are made with molds and plastic materials, but a few bastions of craft remain, where behind every ornament is an artist. Lee Canary, CBS News, London.
Those handmade ornaments in Bulgaria sell for around $5 each. City of Girard was turned into a winter wonderland tonight with a local business owner behind all the fun. Eastside Cafe, a small diner located in Girard, was the host of an outdoor showing of The Grinch, a car show, and vendors lined along the curb selling different items. The purpose of the Christmas-themed event was to bring the community together to have some holiday fun while giving vendors a chance to sell some homemade items.
To make small town America right here in Girard. So that's really our biggest thing that we want to push, is to make sure that we're doing our part to give back to the community.
Eastside Cafe will be hosting a breakfast with Santa on Christmas Eve, and according to Fawcett, there have been over 350 people that signed up for that event alone. Coming up in sports, we hear from Mitch Holtis, the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. Plus, Joplin boys basketball squares off with Carl Junction. Brock Baldridge has those highlights from the game and more.
Here at Mike Carpino Ford, bringing you our
The Carl Junction Bulldogs and the Joplin Eagles boys basketball teams meet for the second time in the last 2 weeks. It was last week in the Carthage Invitational that CJ and Joplin went into double overtime. Former conference opponents meet for a non-conference game. Last week, CJ beat Joplin in double overtime. Starting off in the first quarter, Cooper Vides drains a three-pointer right there in the wing. Bulldogs would build an early lead in this one. A few possessions later, Wyatt McAfee works it hard inside the paint right here. Misses his first shot, gets his rebound right here, and the putback plus the foul. Then here's McAfee in transition. Look at this move right there. Behind the back, finishes the layup with the left hand. Carl Junction led by 10 points at the end of the first. We go to the second quarter. Joplin starts to make up some ground right here. David Bend knocks down the corner three. The next possession, the Eagles go to Cooper Williams, who works inside, gets the turnaround jumper to go down. CJ leads by 8 points at halftime. The Eagles trying to claw back into this one. We go to the second half. Deacon Endicott buries this one from the corner. Nothing but net. Carl Junction holds off Joplin. Bulldogs beat the Eagles 53-47. Well, Pitt State women's basketball is enjoying the weather in South Florida as the team wraps up their final game in Fort Lauderdale. The Gorillas had their 9-game winning streak snapped yesterday, so they aim to bounce back today. Pitt State takes care of business. PSU beats Colorado Mesa 95-81. The Gorillas scored 36 points in the second quarter of this game. Macy Mays led the way with 21 points. The Gorillas have now finished their non-conference schedule. They begin a 17-game conference stretch starting on January 2nd. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs started one of the toughest stretches in the NFL this season. The schedule starts to get a little bit interesting as the Chiefs have the playoffs on the horizon. That brings us to this week's edition with Minute with Mitch.
This stretch the Chiefs are on, brutal. Maybe the most challenging regular season stretch in team history. 3 games in 10 days, 2 on the road, counting last Sunday's game at Cleveland. The situation is compounded by the intensity of these games and Patrick Mahomes' injury situation. But there's a bigger issue here. The Chiefs are not alone in 2024. The NFL scheduled 10 teams to play 3 games in a 10-day span. I look for an additional bye to be added in future schedules, with an 18th regular season game looming, more international games, and especially more streaming partners added in the future who want specialty games like Black Friday or Christmas games. The NFL schedule could soon stretch from Labor Day to the end of February because an additional bye week should be added on this Minute with Mitch. The Minute with Mitch is brought to you by Como Jewelry in Joplin and Pittsburgh.
Tonight, the college football playoff begins as the Indiana Hoosiers travel to play the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. This game is still in progress, but last check, Notre Dame leads Indiana 27-11 in the fourth quarter. Winner faces Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. And going back over to what Mitch Holtis said, obviously talking about how the schedule changes are in the NFL, and I agree with him. I think there should be another bye week in the NFL because that's a lot of football games. Say you have your bye week at week 5, you could play 15 straight weeks of football, potentially you can have a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the Chiefs, they're a tough team, but even a tough team needs that extra week, especially coming up playing Texans tomorrow. And then you got Steelers
on Christmas Day. And
Yeah.
remember, the Chiefs played on Christmas Day last year, and that was a short week, but they were home. Now they have to travel, so
sure.
obviously with the travel plans, yes, it's a 4-day rest week, but that travel day, that's going to cost a lot of their time to prepare.
And you're going up against a really tough defense. Patrick Mahomes is already a little banged up, but he's supposed to play tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes, and Hollywood Brown activated from the IR, so that will definitely help for the Chiefs as well.
All right, so new weapons. We're going to see them in the regular season together. It's
Can't
cool.
wait to watch.
All right, we'll be right back.
The interview set for KOAM News State Hero.
All right, the next couple of days, we're going to be pretty cool. 45 degrees on Saturday, though, another overnight low down into the lower 30s, upper 20s. Sunday, starting to warm up into the low 50s. That continues until the end of next week, where we see temperatures in the upper 60s, though all week next week, including Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, is going to be a bit rainy.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Well, you've probably heard of the saber-toothed tiger, but they weren't the only prehistoric predators to have those incredibly long blade-like canine teeth. Researchers have now identified a new type called Gorgonopsian. They say it's the oldest saber-toothed animal ever found, predating dinosaurs. Gorgonopsians were the dominant carnivores on the land during their time. They vanished around 252 million years ago. Some were as small as cats, while others were as big as polar bears. The recent fossil found in Spain is thought to be 270 million years old to 280 million years old. And that is our producer, Ron, for whatever reason, getting back at me, trying to force me to say that word, for sure. Final sports note for us, Brian.
Yeah, we got 3 college football games tomorrow, but not only that, we also have the Division II College Football National Championship. Ferris State plays Valdosta State, so fans from Pitt State remember the Gorillas beat Ferris State all the way back in week 0, so we'll see that championship game.
All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.